Was my reaction really that surprising?
Yes, it was. Could you do what you did? Of course you could. But I never thought you would or could do that to me.
I'm really sorry, kiddo. But you thought wrong.
You guys have learned wisdom when it came down to your dating life. You got the elephant energy here, and you guys have really taken the time to really look at things from a very discerning type of manner, okay? Because you guys know that in your dating life, you guys are not settling for anything that's not harmonious in the situation. You want a sense of harmony when it comes down to interacting with people in your environment, and also when it comes down to who you have a romantic interest in. Okay, and you guys taking the time to really go through the fire and the flame. You see that in the elephant card here to really learn about who actually is in your environment for the good and who is in your environment for the toxic and chaotic mess. And you guys are no longer accepting that type of behavior. Okay, it could have been a time where you guys had a lot of empathy towards individual when it came down to some of their behavior, and you sort of gave more patience in situations. You guys are now kicking people to the curb who are really showing they're behind to you. Okay, who are really lying about who they present themselves to be. Okay, got the skirt card here. You guys are, like I said, in this new space where you're looking at people and their character and really taking that time as well. Okay, you're really reading up, okay, of who has your attention, who has your eye. Okay, not only that, you're listening too. Okay, if you're hearing red flags, guess what? You guys are, like I said, moving in a whole nother direction. Okay, you're bringing light to the chaos. You're bringing light to the situation that has no potential growth for you in the dating environment. Okay, and guess what? You're letting someone spill the beans. Okay, you're letting people who you're going on dates with spill the beans. So if they're telling about their past chaotic behavior and they're laughing about issues that were, like I said, a little bit chaotic, a little bit rough, you're like, hey, I'm not, in this space where it's like, well, that happened in the past for them. Okay. You're looking at things from a red flag type of perspective. Okay. If you're seeing that they treated, 99.9% of their dating relationships in a horrible way, you're not wasting your time to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be that next person on your list with chaos. Okay. If you're seeing that this person, okay, is basically, spilling the beans that they're, toxic when it comes down to their love life, when it comes down to, their family life as well, and they don't really have a proper balance or they don't have a proper boundaries when it comes down to their interactions, you're leaving. Okay. Because you're taking that time, you're taking that initiative to really see what actually fits for you, okay? And Mercury retrograde is coming in soon, so you guys could be faced by people who are coming back into your environment trying to rekindle, okay? But you already know about the mess, okay? You got the fire and energy, okay? You know this person has no control over their environment, okay? Very impulsive, okay? You can look at this person and look at their behavior and say, hey, you know what? Their temper's out of control, okay? When it comes to their family dynamics, they have a lot of gaslighting. They have a lot of mess when it comes down to their interactions. Okay, there's no sense of balance, and you guys are no longer trying to add fire. Okay, to the bunch of these ants. Okay, you got fire energy coming out in both ways. Okay, you guys have really learned to harness. Okay, what you go in where you go in the right type of direction when it comes down to interactions. Okay, you guys both have fire energy representing it when it comes down to interactions and how you go about that stability within that interaction. And fire and energy, it's all about having that type of chaotic space. Okay, it's all about people sort of getting engulfed in the drama, the people getting engulfed in the theatrics, and you guys are like, you know what? Learn from my wisdom in the situation, learn from being in the situation to really see what my boundaries are. You're like, I'm not trying to put myself in any type of chaos. Okay, this is no longer something that I want to invest in. I don't want to be in a space where every day I wake up is some type of drama energy going on. Okay, you don't want to be in a space where this person is putting everybody in your relationship. Okay, and this person could also have a tendency to not have the best stability at all either. Okay, you got the repo card here, and this person could have, like I said, you probably saw it on an emotional level at first. Okay, with this elephant energy, that they weren't emotionally stable. Okay, when it came down to interaction and communication. Okay, and now you're realizing, okay, with proper detective work here, okay, you're looking at but while this person's coming back into your environment, that they're not financially stable. Okay, they're looking at you. You guys could be in a space where you grew and you moved on. Okay, and they're looking at you as far as like having this stability and having this wisdom. Okay, and they want to hop on your train because they're not doing good in this season. Okay, their finances are really looking like down in the dumps. Okay, so they're trying to find something that really realigns them back to some stability, and that person is you. Okay, and you guys are seeing what this behavior is. Okay, you're looking at this person from a whole new lens. You're like, you're not going to use me, okay, to get some type of stability out of me. Okay, you guys are looking at this person like, hey, you know what, you need to focus on your own finances. You need to focus on your own type of growth process, because what you did was pull your energy back and you focus on your own type of behavior too, and your own type of growth process for yourself. And you're like, you know what, I wasn't somewhere sitting in a situation getting turned and having some chaotic energy in my direction when it came down to splurging on alcohol. Could be splurging on sex too as well. This person could be in a space where it's like they're looking at pleasure to avoid their accountability when it comes down to their relationships. And you're like, I'm definitely not going to put my energy to someone who's looking to just be out there in the streets. Okay, beyond in the streets, like I said, wasting my time. Beyond in the streets when it comes down to putting their focus on to other people and not to you. Okay, you already know. Elephant is all about, having that wisdom, taking that time to really learn. You guys already know. And like I said, if you guys let this person talk, and I'm sure you guys are, they'll spill the beans as far as why they're back in your direction. They'll spill the beans as far as why they want to rekindle, okay? And it has to do with, you're going to see that it has to do from a stability, that type of place, that type of lens, okay? They could lead the conversation saying like, I was really stable with you. We had a lot of growth going on, okay? They give you all that growth type of energy when it came down to their communication. And you're like, I'm not building with you, okay? You're not going to, be on my back, and I'm leading you to, the promised land when it comes down to having that stability. Okay, you're like, I'm not doing that. Okay, you're able to sort of walk away from anything that's putting yourself into this honeymooning perspective. Okay, if you're seeing that it's not really worth your time, this came out in reverse. You're not building a false type of lens when it comes down to rekindling. Okay, this person, you guys could have had, like I said, this past energy. You could have been more accepting towards, growth and, giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. But, okay, something about this energy, this person could have had you in this roller coaster ride when it came down to, tolerating a lot of their mess and tolerating a lot of their triangulation when it came down to, having people in your love life and your relationship, okay? And once you guys finally ended it and you finally, like I said, put your energy towards yourself and put your energy towards your own growing process, this person can't even get back to your good graces, okay? They're going to figure out that the hard way, okay? I think they had this type of arrogance, and people could have been around them trying to juice them up to say, oh, well, you could get her back, you could get him back, and, this person's in for a wild awakening that you're gone, okay? You got Bye Felicia, okay? You guys could give this person the church hug and say, okay, well, you know what, it's time for you to go. All right. They could come into your environment. They could, sit down at a coffee shop and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to talk this person into, getting back into the relationship. Okay. Because they're in desperate needs right now. Like I said, their finances not looking too good. Okay. And they're not, prepared for the whole, oh no, this ain't going anywhere. Okay. They're going to feel like, they've been kicked out in the middle of the street. Okay. But you know what? You guys are not looking to repeat anything that has any type of toxic type of lens, okay? Because you guys are really realizing, okay, if this person is in my environment, okay, they're looking to cause confusion, I'm not going to be, put my wisdom aside to accept them back in my good graces, okay? You know when to say, bye, Felicia, in the situation when someone's not really worth your time, okay? All right, let's get into a little bit more in your reading with the tarot deck here. Let's see here. All right. Ooh, full card here came out. You got on your new beginning. You got the Ace of Pentacles. You got the Hermit card as well. Okay, this person's in the Four of Swords. Let's pull some more energy here. You got the Queen of Cups. Oh, okay. Knight of Swords. big chunk of cards, okay? Pull two more. Okay, we got the Ace of Wands. All right, and then we got the Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, you guys are not playing. You're not fellowshipping with anybody that's wasting your time. Okay, like I said, you're in this new beginning. You got the Full card here. Okay, you guys are in this new beginning. You guys are looking for a new pathway, but you guess what? It's going to be a pathway that has abundance for you. Okay, it's going to be a pathway that you're not putting your time and energy when it's not really worth your investment. Okay, you're investing in the right things for yourself. Okay, and you guys know when to walk away and be in this hermit type of space. Okay, you're in this hermit energy. Okay, this person can't reach you. Okay, this person's not, you're a hermit to this person. Some of you guys could be out and about doing your own thing. This person doesn't know about it because you're not in communication with them. Okay, you're not trying to rebuild that bridge. Okay, you're in this this space where it's like, okay, I'm working on my healing. I'm working on, like I said, removing myself emotionally from that situation. And this person, they're in their feelings. They're Four of Swords because they can't manipulate. Okay, they were playing mind games in the situation. They were playing a lot of, like I said, dirty games trying to get your attention. And you guys bossed up in the situation and said, hey, you know what? I have control over my emotions. I know what's going on in my situation. And I'm no longer trying to, have you, sway my mind in a situation. Okay, you guys know what the mess is. Okay, Queen of Cups takes time and energy to really learn to see, okay, let me look at my emotions from a deeper lens. And Queen of Cups is all about energy. It has nothing to do with, male or female here. It could be all about energy, guys. So like I said, Queen of Cups energy, you're taking that perspective to really look and see, okay, does this really fit for me? Okay, is this really worth my time? Is this really worth my investment? Okay, and guess what? You're seeing that, with this person and their drama and their mess and those who are attached with them, okay, this person could have had a lot of mess going on from every different angle. When it came down to family, could have been, like I said, other people, involved in your relationship, or could have, like I said, just be in that, having friends in your business, okay? You're like, I don't want to be in a relationship with, like I said, 15 other people, okay, when it comes down to, like, them knowing everything that has to do with us, okay? If we don't have boundaries in this, I don't want it, okay? And like I said, they're going to try to, like I said, rush into the situation, okay? That communication, now they want to get serious because they want to get some of these swords out their back, okay? They see all, the thought process in their mind right now. It's going back to old conversations where you were like, I'm really not really seeing this really growing. This is really going a little bit in a chaotic direction, okay? They're realizing that you spoke about this, okay? And they paid no heed to it, okay? So now they want to come back. Like I said, this Mercury retrograde, that fast and quick energy. Can I fix it? Okay? Want to probably have some loving too. They got the Ace of Wands here, okay? You're like, can I fix this? Can we get back to our loving energy? Can we get back to where it was in the past? And, they want to go back into this honeymoon type of energy, okay? But like I said, this came out in reverse. You're not settling for it, okay? They're realizing, no matter how much they try to rush this situation, you're not investing. Three of Cups in reverse. You're not investing. You're not seeing this as a wise decision to go into, okay? You're not wasting your time for somebody who's not really worth your energy, okay? All right, guys, let's end the reading with the Hard Truth deck here. What's something that you need to know about the situation? Let's see. So we got dependent. And this person is very dependent right now because, like I said early on, you have the repo card in there. They're looking to get back with you because they have no financial security, okay? That's why that dependent card came out. They're looking to find some energy where they can sort of lean on to sort of get back into their financial stability again. Okay, we have, let's see here, external influences, okay? Major thing with that fire and energy as well. Too many people in your business. Too many people know what's going on in your love life. Too many people in your personal life when it comes down to communication, okay? Let's go with dependent first. So we have you rely on others and it's stopping you from claiming your power. Strength comes from self-reliance. You can and will do it. You just have to try, okay? Well, they're going to be trying without you because you're not invested. Okay, they need to work on this codependency on their own accord because they're trying to get back to you in this codependent type of way, and you're not investing on giving this person another chance because you already see where the mess is coming from. Okay, external influences, outside factors are heavily influencing your decisions. Consider who has your ear and ensure your choices are in line with your highest potential. Okay, that fire and energy, okay, that chaos, people in that person's ear. Okay, they giving them bad advice and they're taking it. Okay, they're giving them, like I said, bad behaviors to sort of like implement in your relationship, and they're taking it. And you're like, oh no, 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 no. You're like, I am not settling for somebody that's gonna have me in the middle of chaos. Okay, you're like, I'm not, going back into an environment, okay, where I'm gonna have my like I said in this card right here, you see when the husk is gone, okay, you already experienced your pain in the situation. You're no longer putting yourself back into painful situations off of somebody's potential. Okay, you're no longer settling for potential. You're actually looking to see what is actually a good fit for me, what someone's bringing to the table that I'm bringing. Okay, you guys are, like I said, looking for someone who can really match your energy in a loving space, that's able to communicate, that's able to have healthy boundaries when it comes down to influences outside in the relationship. Okay, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna settle for somebody that's has the ear to the street, instead of, like I said, in my direction when it comes down to growing a partnership. Okay, all right, guys, this is your reading for the month of November. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Have a good one.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.